Hello everyone. So this is basically continuations of exception handling. So for that, previously I have already covered few points like details about the exception, about the try catch, about the try and resource, about try catch and finally. So those things. Today I'm going to cover like how we are going to create our own custom exceptions and why basically we need this custom exception. So for why we need this custom exception, so whenever in Java actually in Java whenever it throws the any exception, so those are basically general type of the exception like SQL exception, class cast exception, so that can may appear in the programming, right? So however, sometimes we need to create custom exceptions. So the advantage of it actually to catch and provide the specific kind of things to the user, like we are catching the exception and we are giving some customized message to the user so that the actual things is not uh, so to the user, right? Means we can write some kind of the business logic exceptions. So these kind of exceptions are related to the business logic and the workflow, like maybe if we talked about the customer not found, right, user not found, so those kind of is not available actually existing. So we can create our own exception, and then we can whenever we will check from the database, find some, we can write some queries, and if data is not there, then maybe we can throw this user not found exception, or maybe user already exists. Okay, so this kind of business exception we can provide to the user. This is one of the advantage of using these custom exceptions. Another reason to improve the security by hiding the technical details of the error, and it's basically preventing the information leakage. It's improved the usability and kind of thing. So this is also another point that we can get using the custom exception, right? And these custom exceptions also provide us the flexibility to add attribute and methods that are not part of the actual exception, so that also we can do using this custom exception. The next thing is that how we are going to create the exceptions, our own exception. So basically there are two part of it. One is the create the checked exception, another is the unchecked exception. So for creating the checked exception, let's say we are having some we need to create one class over here. Now I am showing over here like how we are going to create the checked exception, checked user defined exception. Okay, so user not found, okay, or maybe user details not available. Better to write user not found, right? User not found. Okay, so this is one class. So first of all we need to extend the exception class for make it as checked exception. Okay, now here we can create one constructor. This constructor we need to create over here, and then we can pass some messages like string message, and over here we need to call the super method with this message. Okay, so this is basically for user defined exception. Okay, now suppose we are having another main class over here. Let me create one main class main class. Okay, and over here we can write the main method. Okay, so here maybe we can check like user is exist or not. So we are not talking with the some databases, or so for checking the user list maybe we can create one temporary what you can say, we can create one array list, and over there we can put some data over here. Okay, so let me create one list over here, list of maybe string. Okay, users equals to arrays dot as list. Over here we can put some name like John, then Alan. Okay. Okay. Now here we can create one method over here, like for checking the like user is exist or not. Like let me create one method over here in the outside of it is like public, let's say void check user. It will take the username. Okay, and here like we will check this particular user. We can define from the here like in the outside, so that we can get it from the outside of this method also. Like we can check that users dot contains this username. Okay, so you can, if it is true, okay, like if it is true, then we can like return something, or maybe we can throw new this user not found exception. Okay, and here we can give the message, particular message, like user not exist. Okay, and while we are throwing this one, then we can use of this throw user not found exception. If it is not contains, then we can add dot this username. Okay, so this is a simple thing that we have trying to done over here. Like we have created one main class over here, and we have, first of all we have created one this custom exception, checked exception. As you can see over here, now it is a checked exception, right? Because we have extend this exception class. Now we need to call this particular method from this method over here. Okay, here, okay, you need to provide this static. Okay, it will be also static. Okay, so over here we need to pass any user. Like let me try, first of all try with this existing name, let's say John. So it is, what it is saying, unhandled exception, user not found. Why? Because user not found exception is a checked exception. That's why we need to either handle or we need to throw. So better to surrounded with try catch and handle those exception. Okay, so we can print the log over here, exception occurred, exception plus e. Okay, so if I run this application, okay, okay, we need to rename this one as this, and this will be user not found, user not found. Okay, 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 because else it is not actually able to get the identify the main method. So now you can see we are getting this application. So previously it was not coming because the name was this, and but we need to define the main class over here. Okay, so now if I try this one, then we can get the exception user not exist. Okay, now if we try to some other name, okay, let's say Rahul. So now if we, so it will successfully add actually. Okay, unsupported because data like static, so we need to remove this one. Okay, we can do one thing, like we can create one object over here equals to new main class, then main class dot this. Okay, okay, little bit modification we need to do over here, like instead of list we need to take the array list, and also we need to convert this as like array list. So for that we need to over here and then as a parenthesis we need to pass this one. Okay, now let's try. Okay, now it is successfully done, right? If we print this one after adding like let me print the value over here. Maybe directly we can use the sysout and print the user. Okay, so you can see the updated value over here, right? So in this way basically the checked exception basically occurred. Now if we try to create any exception which is unchecked exception means we don't need to check user not found or runtime. We can just add this runtime exception. Okay, so instead of exception basically we need to extend runtime exception. Okay, this one. So this will also change over here. Okay, now suppose instead of that if we need to call this one like username not found. So here if we delete this one, try and catch. So let's see, it will not record over here. Yeah, now you can see it is not throwing any error, right? Because as it is an unchecked exception, so that's why it is not asking for like handling the exception, as it is a like unchecked exception, right? So for creating the unchecked exception we need to extend the runtime exception. So if I run this one, then we can get the details over here. Now suppose if we try to add any existing data over here, let's say Alan, then it will throw that. It will give us user already exists, right? Yes, actually it's user exist. We can say user exist, not if I run, then it's give us this user not exist, right? So in this way basically we can create custom exception, checked exception, and like also unchecked exception, and we can create means we can also add some more features over here. So this is just basic thing about like how we are going to create any custom exceptions like checked and unchecked exceptions into our program so that we can use it. If you guys have anything, please do let me know in the comment sections. That's all actually about this exception handling, and thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.